Hello, and welcome back to another Pen Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me on my channel as I explore the wide world of pens. And yes, we're going to have an official unboxing of a pen I recently got. Obviously, it didn't come from JFK. It came from China, but it was relabeled, and the United States Post Office delivered it to my mailbox. What's nice is it's a box. We open it up. Yes, I have already opened it before this video because it's boring to go through it on camera. And we see a black box. No labeling, no marking, nothing. Pull off the tab, and out comes a plastic tube. And the plastic tube has a name on it, Jinhao. Very secure in there and very heavy. I've seen this tube on some of the listings, but never received one before. So it unscrews, nice block threads there, done very, very well. And we see a pen, secure in the way I like this design. Nice little rubber feet there that allow different size pens to fit in there very securely. So I'm extremely pleased that I finally got a Jinhao tube. Your normal cellophane wrapper. Some crackly noise for those that like crackly noises. And we'll see a metal pen. Now, nice that Chariot's upside down based on the clip, but it's just a symbol, and it's labeled Jinhao on the band. So basically the same design elements that they have in all their 100 Centennial pens, except this one is all metal and it's heavy. We'll show you those weights. A very shiny, slippery chrome section, but that's the way this pen's designed. It does come with acrylic ends, and I'm assuming an acrylic section, but I wanted an all-metal pen to complement my Century 100 collection, which has gotten quite large, especially with the minis. And as we might expect, this end finial unscrews. I'm assuming this top finial unscrews, so you can take the pen apart. But the most important part is the barrel unscrews. Nice metal piece here, which they've had in all their pens. That nice O-ring at the bottom that you feel as you do that last quarter turn to secure the barrel in the section. Just a basic Jinhao converter, nothing special. Not even a metal band at the end, but these work well. I've never had any issues with them. Looks like there's a standard NIM unit that unscrews, so let's give it a shot on camera for the first time. And it unscrews easily. Jinhao's been doing this for quite a while, very consistently. They have their logo on that nib assembly. The collar is a nice O-ring down at the bottom. So a good design. Now that's ink from a previous adventure of the day. So that's the pen. We're going to look at it, compare it to other Century 100s for your viewing enjoyment. You've seen this pen a few months ago. It's a Jinhao 100 in all metal. I love the color. I love the way the fit and finish is. And as we will see, it's totally compatible with all the acrylic versions of this pen. So you can really Frankenize to an incredible degree with this metal pen. The metal pen sold out pretty quickly. There's still some around, but limited colors and things of that nature. And I apologize for being late with the video, but hey, better late than never, as they say. And I enjoy this pen. I enjoy the Jinhao 100. I think they did a great job with this classic dual fold-like design. Flat tops, finials, top and bottom, large number 6 nib, arrow style clip. And I really like the color, and I like the silver combinations. I had a number of choices when I bought this pen, and this is the one I picked, and I'm very happy about that. Let's just go in a little bit closer and say hi to Mr. Crab. Wow, not even breaking a sweat. I'm impressed. So we're going to explore this pen, look at its bits and pieces, take a look at its siblings. Let's wait for Mr. Crab to come around and give us a winky wink. Great Mr. Crab. Here's the Jinhao partially disassembled, as much as I'm going to do it for this video. And primarily I wanted to show the nib, feed, and nib collar. The nib collar unscrewed from the section, and the nib and feed were easy to pull out. A viewer mentioned that they couldn't pull the nib and feed or unscrew the nib collar, and they asked about the 100 design. And every 100 that I have, and I would say that's probably consistent across the Jinhao 100 line, all have a number 6 nib, a pressure fit feed, and a screw-in nib collar, as this one does. Now we're in dark mode, just for the hell of it. Can bring in the LED light. And just to show again how that finish on this metal pen looks. To me, that logo is upside down, but it's a little bit centered if that's considered to be the right orientation. If we look inside the cap, we'll see a nice full plastic liner. And then at the top is that threaded screw. It just has 2 notches on it that holds in the finial and clip. So that's nicely done. This is a higher end pen. Cost close to $40 US, and I think the way that it's engineered and manufactured is worthy of that price. Before I assemble this, I just wanted to show you a close-up of this nib collar. There's a nice O-ring there at the bottom, which is what I like, seals up against the section. And I also put a slight bit of silicone grease on the O-ring and also on the threads, because sometimes these are hard to unscrew. So when you finally get them unscrewed, that silicone grease will facilitate easy removal next time. So you may ask, how many of these Jinhao 100s do you have? And here is my drawer, which I call my Chinese stool fold drawer. We have Kai glue on this side, there's some Wing Sungs, some generic ones, some Moonmans. We come over here, we have more. Love that check pattern. You have the yellow version. And over here we have our 100s, and I've added the metal pen in there just to put it in perspective. And the colors of these pens with those acrylics is just great. So when I opened up this drawer, I saw this pen. Great amber as a cat kind of resin there. Clip. It's a Kai glue. It's a Kai glue mini. I'd forgotten all about it. That's what happens when you have too many pens, but at least I know where to find them if I want to look for them. So I mentioned how you can Frankenize your all-metal Jinhao 100, and I thought this would be an appropriate, interesting addition. So we can unscrew the cap, and we'll keep that gold ring with this pen, and we'll unscrew the rear finial, and we'll put in the resin one, and it fits perfectly. Interesting color combo. And if you don't like that metal section, you can just unscrew it, unscrew your acrylic section. You're going to have that gold band there, different nib, but as you can see, they all fit together, and I could do the finial at the top if I wanted to. So we talked about that orientation of the chariot. So as you can see, this one is orientated so the chariot is orientated so the bottom of the chariot corresponds to the clip, and on this metal silver one, it's the opposite. No consistency, and I've tried to play around with these because this insert is part of the assembly and it disconnects, but I've never been able to reorient it any way I want. So I'm going to do a little bit of different summary as we see the pen rotating on a turntable held up by a crab. And yes, they are strong crabs. Very heavy pen. The dimensions are the same as any of the Jinhao Century 100 pens, but because it's metal, it's extremely heavy. And like the other Jinhao Centennial pens, it does post. It's a heavy cap. And surprisingly, because of the barrel being so heavy, it doesn't really backweight the pen as much as you would expect, but it's certainly not a pen I would post. So what is this pen for? To me, this is a signature pen. That extra fine nib writes great. It's as smooth and great ink flow as any extra fine nib I've ever written with, depending, and that includes gold and hundreds of dollars, etc., etc. So that's a good thing. Do I recommend this pen? I have to be honest, no. If you're a collector, and we had a discussion on Facebook about collecting versus using, and I think collectors can be users and users can be collectors. It's not a mutually exclusive designation. But as Mr. Sizemore and Mrs. Sizemore look at the pen, it is definitely a unique pen in the millions of pens on the marketplace. And for that reason, I'm very, very happy to have this pen in my collection, to have it join my other Century 100 pens in my collection. And yes, I enjoy collecting. I enjoy acquiring things. And I enjoy keeping the things that I acquire. You know, a lot of people buy and sell. They only want 20 pens or some number that they arbitrarily decide is good for them, and that's fine. For me, there is no upper number. As you should probably know, based on all the pens that I currently have. And there are more coming in. Here's some examples of some of the pens that I will get in before the end of the year, and probably do a review, but this review took many months to do. So hopefully you're appreciating the look of this pen. I think this is an excellent color combination. I think this will look great on a desk, and it's a signature pen, sits on a desk. Putting this in your shirt pocket is probably not going to work well because of the weight. So we've reached the end of this video. I hope it finds all of you safe, healthy, and happy, and enjoying your pens. And regardless of what that pen is, whether you spend $1 for it or $1,000 for it, the money is not what's important in life. What's important in life is the joy that you get out of what you do with your money. And for some, that could be putting it in the bank or buying stock. You know, that's what life is all about. So this is the end. Thank you all for watching. And we're going to say bye till the next video.